After sounds of satiating desires, we got ourselves a sticky situation. On this channel, we are all about equality. That means everyone's butt must be protected at all costs, including men's. Alien ditties and turbo grandma tittle biddies are a menace to society, no matter what side of the universe you wormhole from. After a week of no one caring about a man's butt being taken advantage of, a minority of individuals have risen to become ambassadors of booty protectors, and one of them is Ida as acrobatic Silky. These alien ditties are becoming more and more out of control. What are their true intentions in the plot? Who knows? All that matters is that they want Ken's golden balls, and they want it now. Then, the butt play will ensue upon their extraction, harvesting of the purity of Ken's butt. Except acrobatic Ida and Momo has something else in mind for these alien ditties. Welcome to another episode review of Dandadan Episode 9. Gatai Serbo Doba Demoneshi. Is this the new best episode of Dandadan? Well, you be the judge. The episode opens up with Ken seeing a major change in the story as acrobatic Shiratori Ida has come to save Ken's golden balls in his butt from being probed by those vicious, vile, forced entry alien ditties. And just when she checks on her Takakura-sama, she sees one golden ballless man. It shouldn't be anything new since Ida has been watching all of Chichi no Nudie Patooties and also acrobatic Silky's backstory. So, back to the story. While acrobatic Ida catches a glimpse of Ken's single jingle, the alien ditties keep coming across more bananas for them to harvest and attack Silky Ida. The pure untouched butt of Ken's makes a run for it to hide, covering his single jingle as acrobatic Ida pirouettes the alien boxer and the alien ditty from harvesting their insides. The alien ditty even has its own Serpo ditty attack that includes friendly fire, because when alien ditties are done using you, you just become expendable. While acrobatic Ida dances and prances, the alien boxer's landed punches percentages just keep going down. All the while, Ken is looking for a fresh pair of cloth that will cover his exposure. That is when, floating like a butterfly, ends up stinging Ken. Ken is doing all he can to protect the purity that alien ditties want to take from him. All the while, acrobatic Ida taunts the alien boxer and flaunts her love and compassion for a little naked four-eyed teenager. As the alien boxer tries to fight back against this accusation that he's into acrobatic Ida, Ida goes acrobaticer and hits him with the Yume na Momo kick, only to set him up for an uppercut kick to the ceiling. Just when it looked like acrobatic Ida was going to carry Ken's junk, just as Momo has been doing in this entire story, alien ditties just can't keep getting away with it, as the alien ditty uses unwanted force onto Ida and it forces her onto the wall in the alien ditty's control, slowly sapping away all of her acrobatic powers. You and I both know what the alien ditties want, and it's for pleasure, lust, and bananas. Ida begins to spout off being the true chosen one, like in her own magical girl fantasies. And chosen she is, for a punch to the banana. Ken cannot allow his dignity to matter anymore when his side woman's life is on the line, as he slowly sidesteps with 2/3 of his junk being covered by the purity blocker that is his hands, and then he transforms into his new form of Turbo Baba powers. It ups the horny but drastically decreases his defenses, just how alien ditties like it. Now that both Turbo Baba Ken and acrobatic Ida is right next to each other, it makes it extremely easy for the alien ditties to once again use force. There's nothing more powerful than the power of 3 alien ditties and its accomplices, as they forcefully hold Ken and Ida down as they are losing their powers, inching closer and closer to being fully dittied and have their bananas harvested. Just like beating your meat to get it tender, the alien ditties are truly vile creatures of the universe, as the alien boxer beats on Ken. But like many times before, when Ken thinks about folding like a chair in front of Momo, in front of Ida with his exposed single jingle, he turns on his horny grandma powers to fight back with his head. The irony of horny Turbo Baba Ken, given the alien Diddy accomplice head, backfires in a way that they could have never expected. We are reaching an important climactic point in the plot and in the hook, and so we know what happens next. Peaches and cream! Momo appears out of nowhere to protect their man from being taken advantage of by the acrobatic "I'm gonna steal your man" Ida, and horny Turbo Baba Ken tells her he misses her. The hook of the episode ends with Momo never forgetting that alien Diddy stank that she also kicked the shit out of. These arcs in Dandadan are slightly getting a little bit longer and more exciting. It's cool to see yet another new element in the story being shown, and that is Ken's single jingle. Just kidding. Or maybe not. To see Ida show her personality and show her new powers in her acrobatic silky form for the first time was actually pretty fire. Her fight choreography is actually a little bit better than Ken's because her theme is actually like ballet, so there's a little bit more to work with there. And for a good chunk of the fight at the beginning, she was single-handedly beating all of them up. This is the part of the story where the main plot starts to take over the romantic plot aspect of Dandadan to show more of the exciting, flashier elements of the story before it moves back into the romantic stuff. In each arc against the spirits or the aliens, it has to, in some way, not necessarily one-up each arc with the excitement of fighting like a shonen, but continuously show something that we have not seen before in the story. So with Ida fighting and Ken searching for clothes, and then Ken by himself single-handedly got himself out of a sticky situation that many times before Momo will have to be the one to bail him out. Overall, it's just a really exciting start to the episode. And so yeah, let's continue. Turbo Baba Ken continues feeling relieved at the sight of Momo, but Momo tells him to continue, clinching his hentai ass up, and acrobatic Ida comes back to feel the contradictory feeling of being saved by her koi gataki. Momo is completely surprised to see acrobatic Silky as horny Turbo Baba Ken and acrobatic Ida make their counterattack. Ida hits Momo where it hurts by telling her she will be the one to unclench Ken's butt cheeks. This causes Momo to be completely flustered as the alien Diddies do what they do best and force them to the ground. As acrobatic Ida complains about Momo's uselessness, as she's supposed to be the one to hold the alien Diddies back. Then one of the alien Diddies do what they do second best and reminds the alien boxer that bad boy records are only good for using and abusing. The alien boxer is out of commission, but it's not until the alien Diddy whips out its and revives the alien boxer into an overworked salaryman mantis and blows Ken and Ida into the air. Then it unleashes upon them a pounding of a lifetime. Momo regains her composure over her jealousy and stops the alien Diddy's psychic forces. This brings an anime frame back on repeat as acrobatic Ida goes for the salaryman mantis, but the salaryman alien mantis gets his revenge with its own uppercut. Apparently, Momo and Ida can't see its attack, but a naked Ken can. In a duel that seems more synergetic than Ken and Momo's, and Ken is looking more and more like an alpha he was always meant to be, as they synergize their way into giving the salaryman alien mantis its own good pounding of its own. Momo doesn't like this body heat to body heat action at all. As a lot of comedic banter ensues, everyone has forgotten that they are in the midst of a dangerous Pokemon, getting ready to load up on another Hyper Beam. That is when everything turns into water, and the water level rises. Momo, calling all the shots, calls for them to escape, but Ida must always be that koi gataki. Ida is smitten by Ken's intelligence as he explains what this Nessie Pokemon is, and Momo is so sick and tired of this growing relationship and passion between them as she makes her own pathway that separates the two. The alien ditties try to get too rough on their own subordinates, but like any person that uses and abuses, it eventually gets back to bite them as the Pokemon hyper beams one of the alien ditties. Everyone screams and starts swimming their little butts away from a Pokemon levels too high for the alien ditties to control. Unfortunately for Ida, she gets caught in the salaryman alien boxer, now Mantis Shrimp, but all Momo and Ken can do is continuously swim away. Momo gets reminded about actually learning something from school about Mantis Shrimps as the alien Mantis Shrimp keeps shooting away from underwater, but that's just another foreshadowing as the dumb Mantis Shrimp that is 10 times stronger underwater still needs to breathe air as it swims back up in a panic to the surface. Ken turns into horny Turbo Baba to launch a counterattack, but Grandma Tittle Bitties just can't swim. This is where the main plot reverses back into the most important plot development of them all: teenage romance. Momo and Ken bicker back and forth about how to escape and how to potentially save Shiratori Ira that's floating in the ceiling, slowly drowning. But Ken gets brave and finally asserts himself onto Momo's feelings. Of course, Momo feels extremely hurt, and that reflects in her anger towards Ken. But Ken finally asserts that she should say what she feels out loud and stop holding it all in so that he can properly provide context for her misconceptions and quell her feelings to feel a little bit better. However, all Momo can think about is Ken lying about what he was doing during lunch break and after school, and lying about making out with that pink-haired bitch. Ken tells Momo that he doesn't care about what anyone else thinks, but you. Momo is getting embarrassed and pushes away this perverted naked Ken away from her. And after all of that bickering and romantic plot point coming straight into a climax, the main plot catches up and the Mantis Shrimp shoots another blast at them. Ken takes another dub and pushes her out of the way before she gets blown to alien ditty pieces. This episode has been the most positive character development for Ken out of the entire anime up until this point. A good relationship that matters means fighting for the ones you love the most, and we are finally getting to see the two main characters express more and more of their feelings to each other and what they really mean for each other. This is one of the most significant events and scenes between our Momo and kinship. In a moment even more special between the two, a naked Okurin is right on top of Momo after saving her from the blast, but quickly it transitions to comedy that transitions to Momo being the brains for every plot jam they find themselves in, as Ken tells Momo that he won't touch her again, but Momo wants him to touch her again as she comes up with an idea to ride Ken with her psychic powers. They launch themselves into the ceiling and grab Shiratori. There's nothing like the words "Sugoi" after a climactic moment. Unfortunately for Ida, she's unconscious once again, but Momo saves her for realsies this time by unseen resuscitation. To Ken's super secret delight and a surprising, not so surprising display of assertion, Momo tells Ida to strip because it's easier to move in water as they both ride Ken. The alien ditties are having a hard time as no one can survive long enough for that bad karma of abuse, but alien ditties always have something corrupt up their sleeves as they mention something about merging. A naked man on the bottom with two girls on the top. It can only mean we are getting closer and closer to the most explosive part of the episode as they psychic swim their way into defeating these weird creatures from the alien ditty part of space. After another dodge of an alien ditty blast from underwater, these three come up with a plan to go for its neck to prevent it from shooting another blast. As they go back into the water to cut its neck, alien ditties just don't go down that easily, as acrobatic Ida takes another beating, in which Ken and Momo were able to maneuver their way to grabbing her again out of the water. We get another repeat of some more foreshadowing, as Momo, like always, has another clever plan in mind, yet to be revealed, as the merged Serpo Saiyajins blast the three away from each other, and Momo opens her eyes to see yet another alien Diddy trying to force entry. When alien Diddies think that they have this fight all wrapped up, Momo does the classic taunt of the hands. And when the merged Serpo Saiyajins attack, Momo removed all the water, which removes the Mantis Shrimp's biggest advantage, since it's merged with all the alien Diddies, 10xing in the water to 10xing them out of the water, making them vulnerable. The merged Serpos make another counterattack onto Momo, putting pressure on her to just survive. But it's an easy setup for the synergetic duel of horny Turbo Baba Ken and acrobatic Ira to save Momo. Momo, holding her last breath to the brink, sends her unseen hand to acrobatic Ira Silky's red runway, providing a runway for Ken, since Turbo Baba can't swim, but he can certainly run. His butt nakedness, Turbo Baba grabs Momo in only her lingerie before the alien Diddy can get away with stealing their bananas. Fortunately, they're wet and they're back in school. Here we are, another body heat to body heat situation. After I climactic into the episode, we got ourselves another top and bottom situation, even better than the prior episode. A naked Ken on top of an almost naked Momo. It's a situation that any guy dreams of. Both Momo and Ken couldn't help but laugh at touching something so hard and so real. But what they didn't realize is a nightmare you probably had in your life multiple times, as both Ken and Momo make a run for it, as the entire school sees them naked. As Ida comes out of nowhere to join them, they will forever live in infamy as freaks. Giggity! This episode provided just as much action and more different kinds of action, like in that Turbo Baba fight episode. Like what I mentioned earlier in this video and in the prior video, we are at this point in the anime where it's all about the progression of the characters and the introduction of newer ones that bring a different element to the story. Exposition isn't that big of a deal in Dan Dan Dan, but it gives us enough about how the world works. With Dan Dan Dan, the main focus, and always will be the main focus, is Momo and Ken's relationship, and how it will be tested, and how it will advance in various types of ways. Strictly between each other's relationship, or by various outside influences, like Shiratori Ira. Through that, we have all of these fun, wacky plots that are occult or ghost related that helps advance this relationship in all various types of exciting and or slice of life ways. This episode is the best episode so far to show all the various elements that best exploits the best parts of this anime, that challenges Ken's and Momo's relationship. We got to see exactly what Ida will bring to the story. She is the quintessential Koigataki, or the love rival of Momo's. She brings her own personality and a group of fans that actually want this ship instead. And just another comedic, fun banter that we won't get from other characters. This is one of the few ways to get this jealousy element out of the story from both sides, and seeing how these two characters, specifically Momo and Ken, handle these situations. And that is where it builds up into these satisfying climactic parts of Momo and Ken's relationship, finding resolutions to their issues with each other. That is an aspect that we most look forward to in Dan Dan Dan. As an issue arises, we get to experience everything that they go through that negatively impacts them. But that's just the setup. Or like in this episode where Ken stands up to Momo to tell her this is a misunderstanding. And this is the first time being able to see Ken be more assertive between their relationship. That isn't necessarily just fighting each other or butting heads, which is, this is the main progression of the story that we want to see most. It will always come down to these two. If you guys watched Rama before or are watching the new Rama right now, it's the same kind of situation there. A bunch of chicks want the MC guy and the guys want the MC girl. what can possibly happen? A bunch of silliness. Overall, this was a very, very fun popcorn episode. Lots of fun action that's also booty related. And we get to see Ken finally be that actual shonen character that overcomes a situation with his sheer will. And also between his and Momo's relationship, he's becoming more and more assertive. And these are elements that are growing from Ken's character. But how the fights end up shaping up against the aliens or the yokais, they kind of end up being the same kind of formula. I think as long as they keep the fights refreshing and new and certain elements that we haven't seen before, I don't have that big of a problem with it. And I think most people won't have that big of an issue with it. I think we are all here to see the Dandadan story eventually end with Momo and Ken finally being shipped. And maybe at the end, we get a little time skip to give us that ending payoff that everything worked out for the best. But we are all in it for the ride. Until then, I'm here to accept what Dandadan has to offer. Give us fun action, give us that Dandadan humor, and let's see these characters progress in their relationship as all of these outside forces challenge them. So yeah, this was another great episode in the books. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode and everything up until this point. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button for protecting men's butts too. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And check out my blog at otakusen.com. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.